All right, first off, we want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rukakwadash. That's all honor and glory to the Most High God through his Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, man. We back at it again with another Shabbat service, man, right? And pretty much this one is called Bearing Your Burden for the Lord, man, right? So, hey, we all got to bear our burden for the Lord in this thing, man. Everybody's got to bear their burden for the Lord in these last days, man. You got to literally carry your cross and bear your burden and bear your burden in these last days, man. Right? So I'm gonna kick it off with an opening precept, man. The book of Matthew, right? Chapter 4. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 4, and verse 18. And Yahweh walking by the sea of Galilee saw two brethren, Simon called Peter, and Andrew his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishers. And he said unto them, follow me, and I will make ye fishers of men. Right? So what? You got to follow the Lord in this thing and become fishers of men. Right? And when you follow the Lord in this thing and become fishers of men, you're going to have a lot of persecution that you're going to have to endure in this thing, man. A lot of persecution that you're going to have to endure for leaving everything behind you, man, and following the Lord, man. Right? It says what? And going from thence, he saw other two brethren, James the son of Zebedee, and John his brother in a ship with Zebedee, their father mending their nets, and he called them, and they immediately left the ship and their father and followed him, man. Hey, that's a burden, man, that they had to bear. They kind of had to leave their father and their careers to follow the Lord, man. And a lot of people in these last days, they don't understand that. Hey, you got to kind of leave behind your family members, man. You got to kind of leave behind your parents, man. You got to kind of leave behind the damn career you thought you was going to have, man. You got Jake in here that wanted to be part of the military, man. And they have to leave that idea behind to serve the Lord, man. You can't be in Esau's military and serve the Lord, man. Right? Let me get one more precept. Right? It's the book of Matthew, right? What I want. It's a lot. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 8, and verse 19. A certain scribe came and said unto him, Master, I will follow thee whithersoever thou goest. And Yahweh said unto him, the foxes have holes, and the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man have not where to lay his head, man. Right? Hey, Yahweh didn't have nowhere to lay his head. What is the place you lay your head? That's rest. Yahweh had no place of rest, man. So when you come into this thing and you follow Yahweh, you're not going to have rest in this place, man. So don't be looking for rest. Right? Understand that if Yahweh didn't have rest and no servant is above his master, that you're not going to have rest in this place, man. And that's a burden and a cross that you got to bear when you follow the Lord, man. Right? And with that, I yield.
All right, Con. I'm gonna go straight into an account for bearing your burden for the Lord about Jeremiah. It's Jeremiah 37 and 7. And it says, thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, thus shall ye say to the king of Judah, that sent you unto me to inquire of me, behold, Pharaoh's army, which is come forth to help you, shall return to Egypt into their own land. And the Chaldeans shall come again and fight against this city and take it and burn it with fire. Thus saith the Lord, deceive not yourselves, saying the Chaldeans shall surely depart from us, for they shall not depart. Now, from this situation, they was feeling like Jeremiah is now working with the Chaldeans, or the exact words is that he fell away to the Chaldeans. So I'm gonna jump down. It says, verse 13, and when he was in the gate of Benjamin, a captain of the war was there, whose name was Arijah, the son of Shelemiah, the son of Hananiah, and he took Jeremiah the prophet, saying, thou fallest away to the Chaldeans. Then said Jeremiah, it is false, I fall not away to the Chaldeans, but he hearkened not to him. So Arijah took Jeremiah and brought him to the princes. Wherefore the princes were wroth with Jeremiah and smote him and put him in prison in the house of Jonathan the scribe, for they had made that the prison. And when Jeremiah was entered into the dungeon and into the cabins, and Jeremiah had remained there many days. So for following, for saying "Thus saith the Lord" to the people, he ended up facing imprisonment or whatnot. And then it's like I'm gonna jump around real quick. So 38:2, and it says, "Thus saith the Lord, he that remaineth in the city shall die by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence." This Jeremiah speaking. "But he that goeth forth to the Chaldeans shall live, for he shall have his life for a prey and shall live." So he's still speaking, "Thus saith the Lord." You know what I'm saying? Regardless of everything that he, was just suffering. And then I jump down. It says, verse 3. "Thus saith the Lord, this city shall surely be given into the hand of the king of Babylon's army, which shall take it. Therefore the princes said unto the king, We beseech thee, let this man be put to death." So dang, he was smoked. He was cast into the prison. He was cast into the dungeon. Now they talking about they want to put this man to death for just speaking, "Thus saith the Lord." Keep going. "For thus he weakeneth the hands of the men of war that remain in this city, and the hands of all the people, in speaking such words unto them. For this man seeketh not the welfare of his people, but the hurt." Then Zedekiah the king said, "Behold, he is in your hand, for the king is not he that can do anything against you." Then took they Jeremiah and cast him into the dungeon of Malchiah, the son of Hamelech, that was in the court of the prison, and they let down Jeremiah with the cords. And in the dungeon there was no water but mire, so Jeremiah sunk in the mire. Like they was literally trying to get rid of this brother for doing what the Lord, carrying out "Thus saith the Lord," trying to tell them. But later on, I ain't gonna jump into it for sake of time, for brothers can get up in there. But in verse 40, you see what happened. I mean, in chapter 40, you see what happened for him, following the Lord without wavering or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like he ended up getting his walking papers. They let him make it. You know what I'm saying? They told him, "If you want to come to Babylon with us, come on. If not, you can go do your own thing." But with that, I yield.
Right? And the whole point is bearing your burdens for the Lord, man. And there's multiple different types of burdens, man. Right? You can have, physical ailments. You can have mental ailments, and you can even have spiritual ailments, man. There's all type of burdens you can be put upon you, man. Right? This is the book of Luke, chapter 14 and verse 26. It says, "And if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple." Right? And it reads, "But and whosoever doeth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple." Right? So you got to be able to bear that cross, man. Hey, bear the burdens of being hated by your family, man. Hey, bear that burden of having your name being tossed in the dust, man. Thrown down in the mud, man. Hey, you got to be able to be smitten upon, man. Right? You got to be able to bear these burdens, man. Because our forefathers, they had to bear their own burdens, man. And some of the burdens was a lot harder than the ones that we face with now, man. Right, let me get this real quick. In the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 12, and I'm going to start off at verse 7. It says, "And least I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations. There was given to me a thorn in the flesh, a messenger of Satan to buffet me, least I should be exalted above measure." Hey, so the Lord put a demon on Paul, man, and it smote him and it buffeted him every time somebody tried to raise him above measure, man, tried to exalt him, man. Hey, our forefathers had to deal with a lot of things, man, and a lot of things that's a lot harder than what you're going through nowadays, right? Brothers going through nowadays, they go through little things, man. These are all light afflictions compared to the men of the scriptures, man. Hey, Yahweh Shah had to be killed for our people, man. He had to be physically whipped, man. He had to be nailed to a cross. Hey, Paul had to have a demon smite him upon his cheeks, man. Right? And let me just get this to finish it off. And it says in verse 9, and he said unto me, "My grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness." Right? Long story short, hey, the Lord said his grace is sufficient enough for you, man. Hey, whatever you're going through, the Lord said you can handle it, man. Right? And with that, I'm gonna yield.
Con, I'm gonna hop in there, right? Touching on what the brother Gabar said, right? About that burden, man. Hey, in Numbers chapter 9, so like in Numbers chapter 4 and verse 19, right? The Aaron had to go in and tell the Levites their service and their burden, man. So a burden is also what the service of the Most High God, right? We can get an account. This is the book of 2 Samuel chapter 7 and verse 5. It says, "Go and tell my servant David, thus saith the Lord, shalt thou build me an house for me to dwell in," right? So the Lord is making is put a burden upon us, and that's why Yahweh Shai didn't have any rest, right? Because he was too busy building the house of the Lord, right? So the burden that we have to be bearing in this thing is building up the house of the Lord. And I'm gonna get another precept on that. This is the book of First Peter chapter 2 and verse 5. It says, yea, I'm gonna start at 4, start at 3. If so be you have tasted that the Lord is gracious, to whom coming as unto a living stone, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of Yahweh and precious, ye also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house and an holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, right? So we have to be offering up that spiritual house, that those spiritual sacrifices unto the Most High God by what? Carrying up our service, our duty, the burden to the body of the Most High God, and that's doing the work, laboring forth, because it's no rest when you laboring, man. So you have to be laboring for the Most High God and putting in that work. With that, I yield.
Con, mighty. So I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna go to 2 Peter chapter 3. So I do. Con, 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts. So when you come into this truth, you prepare to serve the Lord, and you shaking their hand, and you telling our people what's coming to them, they already gonna mock, they already gonna scoff and be like, that brother just talking, or that brother, that's just what he believed. That's not what really the Bible say. But they gotta know that it is what it is, man. Like, let me get another one. Because that you gotta know that that's just Satan. You know what I'm saying? The same thing that happened to Job. The Lord didn't ask the Lord Satan asked the Lord to go ahead and test Job, and he gave him the green light. But it wasn't just so he could just for no reason. You understand? Let me go ahead and get that real quick. This is Job chapter 1 and verse 8. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil? I'm going to jump down to verse 11. But put forth thine hand now and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thy face. So Satan is telling the Lord that Satan, that Job is going to curse his name, right? And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy power. Only upon himself put forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. So you got to understand, when you come into this truth, Satan is going to try to test you. You know what I'm saying? And scoffers going to come and try to knock you off your pivot. But you know what I'm saying? We just got to keep enduring. Not you.
That's right. All right, let me get in there. All right, it's the book of Luke, chapter 14, verse 27. And whosoever do not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. Right? And you can't be a disciple of Yahweh Shai, man, if you don't bear your cross, man. Right? You got to bear your cross in this thing, man. It's not going to be an easy walk, man. It's not going to be like damn Christianity, where you damn kind of come in, you get to kind of go to the altar, and all of a sudden you damn in heaven, man. The Lord ain't dealing with that, man. You got to literally bear your cross in this thing, man. Right? And it says what? For which of you intending to build a tower sitteth not down first and counted the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it, man? Right? So look, you got to literally sit down and damn count the cost of what's gonna happen when you come into this truth, man. Just like if you was to damn build a house or build a damn tower, you would look and you would say, hey, do I have all the wood? Do I have all the cement? Do I have all the brick? Do I have everything I need, the paint, everything I need in order to finish this building sufficiently, man? It's the same thing when you come into this truth, man. You got to come into this truth and understand that you're going to be chastised, that you're going to be persecuted, man. You're going to be hated, man. And you got to be able to count that cost and say, you know what? I counted it and I can do it and finish the race, man. Right? Let's get another account. Let's go to the book of Acts, man. Right? Let's go to the book of Acts, man. Mighty book of Acts. Right? It's a lot of accounts in Acts, man. Right? It's the book of Acts, chapter 21 and verse 11. I'm going to start at verse 10. Right? And he was tarried there many days. There came down from Judea a certain prophet named Agabus. And when he was come unto us, he took Paul's girdle and bound his own hands and feet and said, thus saith the Holy Ghost, so shall the Jews at Jerusalem bind the man that owneth this girdle, and he shall deliver him into the hands of the Gentiles. And when we heard these things, both we and they of that place besought him not to go up to Jerusalem. Then Paul answered, what mean ye to weep and to break mine heart? For I am ready not to be bound only, but also to die at Jerusalem for the name of Yahweh Shah, man. Right? And that's plain, man. Right? Paul was ready to die. Paul didn't give a damn about being bound. He didn't give a damn about that burden of being bound up by his own people and delivered to the Gentiles, man. Thrown in jail. Paul didn't give a damn, man. Paul said, I am ready to die for the name of Yahweh Shah, man. Right? And you got to walk in the same strength and power as our ancestor Paul, man. Doing the work of the Lord, being ready to die for the work of the Lord, man. And with that, I yield.
Okay. So I'm gonna go in the book of Acts as well. I'm gonna go to Acts 9 and well, I'm gonna start at. I just started at 13, and it says, then Ananias answered, Lord, I have heard by many of this man how much evil he hath done to thy saints at Jerusalem. And there you have authority from the chief priest to bind all that call on thy name. But the Lord said unto him, go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me to bear my name before the Gentiles and kings and the children of Israel. For I will show him how great things he must suffer for my name's sake. And just as the brother just brought out, Paul, or at this time, Saul, definitely, suffered for Yahweh Shah, many great things, you know what I'm saying? But let me see. Nah, that's all I want on that. Yeah, that's all I want on that. But I'll get one more. It's Ezekiel 4, and I'm gonna start at verse 3. And it says, moreover, take thou unto thee an iron pan, and set it for a wall of iron between thee and the city, and set thy face against it, and it shall be besieged, and thou shalt lay siege against it. This shall be a sign to the house of Israel. So this Yahweh sitting up here telling Ezekiel to carry out certain messages or signs or whatnot to Israel. And then verse 4, lie thou also upon thy left side, and lay the iniquity of the house of Israel upon it. According to the number of days that thou shalt lie upon it, thou shalt bear their iniquity. For I have laid upon thee the years of their iniquity, according to the number of the days, 390 days. So shalt thou bear the iniquity of the house of Israel. And I mean, I don't know about y'all, but when I lay down on the bed, if I'm up in there more than 10 hours or something like that, if I'm able to get that much sleep, I have to get up. I can't just sit up there and lay there. Think about somebody laying there for 390 days. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep going. Verse 6. And when thou hast accomplished them, lie again on thy right side, and thou shalt bear the iniquity of the house of Judah 40 days. I have appointed thee each day for a year. Therefore thou shalt set thy face towards Jerusalem, the siege of Jerusalem, Salakia, and thine arm shall be uncovered, and thou shalt prophesy against it. And behold, I will lay bands upon thee, and thou shalt not turn thee from one side to the other, till thou hast ended the days of thy siege. So you had to lay on one side 390 days straight, couldn't flip over, toss, turn, nothing like that. And then back door, lay on the other side another 40 days. And not once did he sit up there and come against the Lord about what he asked him to do. I mean, if I jump down, I'm gonna jump down and I'm gonna pass it along. Jump down to verse. I jump down to 11. Thou shalt drink also water by measure, the sixth part of an hin. From time to time shalt thou drink. So he can't eat and drink normally as he'd normally do while he's laying up in there. And it says, and thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of a man in their sight. So he wanted him to sit up there and make some barley cakes with human dung. You think he said, hell no, like I'm not about to do that. What you mean? You know what I'm saying? And I just let that be because I mean it goes into it later. He changed it from uh uh man's dung to cow's dung, but it's dung nonetheless. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't come up against the Lord. You know, he didn't try to not do or carry out what the Lord told him to do. He had to do what was required of him. And that's another account of, you know, bearing your burden for the Lord.
Let me get in there, right? This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, right, in verse 37, right? They were stoned, they were sawed asunder, were tempted, were slain with the sword. They wandered about in sheepskin and goatskin, being destitute, afflicted, and tormented. Who is he talking about here? The people that were stoned, the people that were sawed asunder, that were tempted. Hey, they's talking about your forefathers, man. These all happened to your forefathers, man. The righteous men of the Lord, man. And they went through all of these things for the name of the Heavenly Father, man. Right? A lot of these things can play hard on man's mind, right? It can get you into wanting to quit this thing, man. Hey, it can have you wanting to quit. It can have you wanting to give out, you know what I'm saying, quit the race at all and go back into the world, man. Right? These are all things that can weigh up on your mind, adding burdens on top of your burdens, man, to get you to flee away from the Lord. But what? You have to keep on going in this thing, right? You got to keep on working which needs to be worked. You got to keep on doing the Lord's work, man, right? And it reads, of whom the world was not worthy. They wandered in deserts and in mountains and in dens and in caves of the earth, right? And that's the men of the Lord do, man. Hey, we go out here into these highways and byways, man. We wander around the four corners of the earth, bringing our people back to repentance, right? Calling our people back to the Lord, man, right? And it reads, and these all, having obtained a good report through faith, received not the promises. And even though they did all of these things, they didn't receive the promises. But hey, they will when the Lord come back, man. When the Lord come back, they're going to receive all the good works that they did, man. Right? And this is my last precept right here. Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 2. Looking unto Yahushua, the author and finisher of our faith, whom for the joy that was set before him endured the cross. Hey, so Yahushua, he endured that cross. And he put that cross on his back and he carried it, man. After being whipped, after being scourged, after being smoten on the face, after putting a crown of thorns upon his head, right? He did those things, right? And it reads, right? Despising the shame. Hey, the Lord despised the shame. Imagine you being the Lord, right? Having the ability to call 12 legions of angels, right? But yet you're enduring the shame, man. You're enduring this affliction for your people, man. Hey, we got to be like the Lord, man. Hey, the Lord is one of the best examples that we can go through, man. Right? Because he endured all this thing, not for his sake, but for his people. Right? And it reads, and is set down on the right hand of the throne of Yahweh. You see that? And that's his reward. By going through these afflictions, by holding on, by carrying these burdens to the finish line, hey, he was put on the right hand of the throne of Yahweh. right? And with that, I'm gonna yield.
Con, I'm gonna jump in there, right? This is the book of Luke, chapter 9, and verse 22, saying the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected. So you're gonna suffer many things in this truth, man, and be rejected, right? It says, and be rejected of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be slain, right? And be raised the third day. And he said to them all, if anyone will after, let him deny, take up the cross daily, right? So start taking up his cross. It's symbolic for him what? It's symbolic for death, because he knows that he's about to die, which is the will of the Father and not of himself. So Yahweh Shai is taking up that cross, knowing that, hey, I'm about to be put to death, man. Right? That's the work that you have to do for the Most High God. You have to be willing to understand that your will is not the will of the Most High, and that the Most High will come first. Right? Read on, it says, and take up his cross daily, which is symbolic for what? Dying in this thing, and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, right? That's that death. But whosoever will lose his life for my sake, the same shall save it, man. So if you're losing your life for Yahweh's sake, right, you're actually preserving your life. It says, for what is a man advantage? For what is a man advantaged gain the whole world and lose himself or be cast away? For whosoever shall be ashamed of me and of my words, of him shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he shall come in his own glory and in his Father's and of all the holy angels. Right? And I'm gonna jump to 2 Corinthians chapter 5, right? Because it says, wherefore henceforth, no man after the flesh, yet though we have known Christ after the flesh, Yet, yet no henceforth know we him no more. Therefore, if any man be in Hamashiach, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away, behold, all things come new. Right, and that's going to 1 Corinthians, I believe it's the 15th chapter where Paul says that he dies daily. Right, so you have to die daily in this thing by taking up the cross and that burden that Yahweh Shai took up, man. Becoming a new creature in this thing, and understanding that once you have to kill off that flesh. You have to continuously kill off that flesh, and be a new creature and obtain to your spiritual body. Because in the book of First Corinthians, I'm roughly paraphrasing, right? It says that it's talking about pass away and rise again. That the have a physical natural body, right, that passes away, and that spiritual body is rose up again. So we have to be raising up our spiritual body in this truth. With that, I yield.
And another thing you got to understand is when you come out and you decide to go on the highways and byways, which was all done through the will of Yahweh, you got to understand that we are at war. You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and get Jeremiah 51 and 20. This is Jeremiah chapter 51 and 20. And speaking carnally, is there's casualties, in war. And if you lose your life for Yahweh, that's an honorable death. But this is Jeremiah 51 and 20, and it reads, thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. So he's gonna use his holy vessels, man, that he got on these highways and byways, man. That's who you looking at when we out there and we prophesying against the wind. When nobody want to listen, they turn the cold shoulder. That's who you looking at, man, because we at war spiritually. We're the light in this midst of darkness. When you look around, man, all you gotta do is look up. We literally are one light bulb in the midst of darkness. I'm gonna get one more. Ephesians 6 and 11. This is Ephesians chapter 6 and 11. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Right? So you got to go ahead and put on that whole armor of Yahweh. You got to go ahead and saddle up, man. Get war ready, because it's all it is. It's not gonna be easy, you know. If it was easy, everybody would do it. But he don't want everybody. He wants soldiers ready to go to war, man. How you?
Con, right? Mighty precepts by the Akim, man. Let me get in there now. Right? Let's go to the book of Genesis. Go to the mighty book of Genesis, man. Right? This is the book of Genesis. Right? Chapter Shalak. I believe I'm on 38. 39. Right? It's the book of Genesis, chapter 39. Right? And I'm going to start at verse 8. 7. And it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, lie with me. But he refused and said unto his master's wife, behold, my master wotteth not what is with me in the house, and he hath committed all that he hath unto my hand. There is none greater in his house than I, neither hath he kept anything from me but thee, because thou art his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against Yahweh, man? Right? Hey, man, the damn heathen, she wanted some Israelite, man. She wanted Israelite in her life, man. Right? But just like in this walk, what you're going to have is, man, sometimes you got to suffer persecution for choosing the righteous path, man. Right? Joseph is choosing the righteous path to honor Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai and not to commit the sin of adultery by laying with another man's wife, man. Right? And a lot of times in this walk, you're going to suffer persecution for the same thing, man, for choosing the righteous path, the path that's not of the world, man. The world says to do this thing, and the Lord says to do that thing, man. And you're going to suffer that which the Lord tells you to do versus that which the world tells you to do. And you got to endure through that thing, man. You can't fold. You can't give in. You can't say, man, I hate this damn truth. None of that, man. You can't say I want to be over this Israelite phase. None of those things, man. You got to kind of endure, man. Right? Reading on. And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went into the house to do his business, and there was none of the men. Salakia. Come. And it came to pass as she spake to Joseph day by day, and he hearkened not unto her to lie by her or to be with her. Hey, so damn, every day she kind of damn jumping on damn Joseph, man. Every day she trying to get Joseph to go the hell off, man. And it's this way in the walk. Every single day, Satan gonna be trying to jump on you, man. Every single day in the walk, following Yahweh Shai, Satan gonna be trying to get you to go off, man. And the same way Joseph endured through it is the same way you gotta endure through this thing, man. This is bearing your cross. This is bearing your burden. It's a burden to walk in the spirit daily, man. It shouldn't be, but it is because we're in the flesh, man. Right? Reading on. And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went into the house to do his business, and there was none of the men of the house therewith. And she caught him by his garment, saying, lie with me, and he left his garment in her hand and fled and got him out. And it came to pass when she saw that he had left his garment in her hand and was fled forth, that she called unto the men of her house and spake unto them, saying, see, he hath brought in a Hebrew unto us to mock us. He has came unto me to lie with me, and I cried with a loud voice. And it came to pass when he heard that I lifted up my voice and cried, he left his garment with me and fled and got him out. And she laid up his garment by her until her Lord came home. And she spake unto him according to these words, saying, the Hebrew servant which thou hast brought unto us came unto me to mock me. And it came to pass as I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me and fled out. And it came to pass when the master heard these words of his wife, which he spake unto him, saying, after this manner did the servant do unto me, his wrath was kindled. And Joseph's master took him and put him into prison, a place where the king's prisoners were bound, and he was there in the prison. Right? So what? For doing the righteous deed of following the Lord, man, Joseph got thrown in damn prison, man, for following the Lord. Hey, and what does it say in the book of Revelation, chapter 12, man? Right? It says, fear none of these things that shall come to pass, for the devil shall cast some of y'all into prison houses, man. Right? So for fearing the Lord and keeping the commandments of the Lord, hey, we gonna get thrown in prison in this thing, man. The same way Joseph did, man. Right? But just like Joseph didn't fall out the truth because of it, he endured through it. And at the end, what was he, man? He was master over all of Egypt, man. The Lord is going to make us master over all of Egypt and all the other nations for enduring through the tribulation that you suffer for walking in righteousness, man. The same way he did with Joseph, man. But this is for eternity, right? Let's get another account. Let's go back to mighty Paul, man. It's the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 23. Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I. Are they ministers of a Mashiach? I speak as a fool. I am more. In labors more abundant. In stripes above measure. In prisons more frequent. In deaths off, man. Right? Hey, so Paul labored heavy in this thing, man. Right? Hey, Paul got stripes, man. Paul got heavy stripes in this thing, man. These are the bearing of the burdens that you got to bear, man. Paul bared that burden. It didn't stop him from doing the work, man. Hey, Paul continued to travel and do the work of the Lord, right? And it says what? Of the Jews, 5 times received I 40 stripes, save one, right? Because in the law, it says you can't beat a man more than 40 times, man. So they damn beat Paul 39 times, 5 times, man, right? Reading on. Thrice was I beaten with rods. Once was I stoned. Thrice I suffered shipwreck. A night and a day have I been in the deep, man. Right? Hey, damn, suffered shipwreck, man. Did that stop Paul from doing the work of the Lord, man? No, man, it didn't. Right? And because he's been faithful over a few things, Yahweh Shai gonna make him Lord over many in the last days, man. And it's the same way. We got to be faithful over a few, even through persecution, man. That the Lord may make us masters of many in the last days, man. So you got to bear your burden in this thing, man. Right? And with that, I yield.
Okay. You don't get much mightier than that. Brother Paul. Go into Second Maccabees, the 7th chapter. And it's pretty long. I'm sure a lot of people know the story. But for those that don't, it was a family that suffered persecution. I'll start at the top for some context. It came to pass also, 7-1. Yeah, 2nd Maccabees 7-1. It came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips. But one of them that spake first said thus, what wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers. And I mean, it's more on that, but that's basically the point. You know what I'm saying? You got to be ready to suffer whatever persecution may come your way. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to jump down. Verse 20. Verse 20. But the mother was marvelous above all and worthy of honorable memory. For when she saw her 7 sons slain within the space of one day, she bare it with a good courage because of the hope that she had in the Lord. Yeah, she exhorted every one of them in her own language, filled with courageous spirits and stirring up her womanish thoughts with a manly stomach. She said unto them, I cannot tell how ye came into my womb, for I neither gave you breath nor life, neither was it I that formed the members of every one of you. But doubtless the creator of the world, who formed the generation of man, and found out the beginning of all things, will also of his own mercy give you breath and life again, as ye now regard not your own selves for his law's sake. Because they're sitting up there dying for the law and dying, for what they believe in, for the Lord. And for that, they will receive life again. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, it's more on that, but I'm gonna jump to the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 from the top. And it says, but the souls of the righteous are in the hand of Yahweh, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and their departure is taken from misery. Because this goes hand in hand with their story. I mean, they was being chopped up into little pieces and boiled inside of a pot. You know what I'm saying? So in the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and their departure is taken from misery. And they're going from us to be utter destruction, but they are in peace. For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For Yahweh proved them and found them worthy for himself. And I mean, that right there is pretty plain. I don't really have to expound on that, but you got to be able to suffer any type of persecution, execution, uh, bear the burdens of the Lord in this thing to be able to get that kingdom. And with that, I yield.
Right? And one thing I'm gonna say is, you know what I'm saying, yeah, you gotta bear your burden, right? But don't think you gotta do it all by yourself, man. Hey, the Lord told us to gather ourselves together, man. Right? You don't have to do all of this stuff by yourself, man. Hey, the apostles had Yahweh Shah. Paul had disciples under him, man. Right? You ain't gotta do this thing by yourself, man. Right? This is the book of Galatians, chapter 6 and verse 2. Bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Hamashiach. Right? So we got to bear one another's burdens, man. Hey, if you see a brother's having a fault with weeding, hey, be around that brother. Exhort that brother. Hey, if you need to, you know what I'm saying, be around that brother 24/7, hey, you do that, man. Hey, it's with the Lord. It's all for the Lord, for the name of the Heavenly Father, man. Hey, if you know a brother's having a fault with depression or mental issues, he's always, you know what I'm saying, going through that slippery slope. Hey, call that brother every day and check up on that brother. Hey, stop being by yourself, man. Hey, the Lord said, gather yourselves together, man. Let me get this precept right here in the book of Ecclesiastes. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9. It says, two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labors. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow, right? But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he have not another to help him up. So the Lord said, hey, two are better than one, man. So find you a congregation to be with, man. Find you a camp, right? Find you somebody who's doing the work of the Lord, man, who will be able to lift you up if you fall, man. If he see you backsliding, he don't mind cutting you up with the scriptures, man. Hey, the Lord said once again, and I'm gonna keep on saying it, man. Gather yourselves together. We are always stronger in groups, man. We are very easy to manipulate when we by ourselves, man. Right? And with that, I'm gonna yield to pass it on to the next brother.
John, I'm gonna get the book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 1 in the class. My son, thou comest my son, thou come to serve the Lord. Prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright, constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou may increase at thy last end, right? You have to continuously take upon the burdens of the Lord and understand that that's what it comes with when coming into this truth, man. Man, take take the burdens, right? Reading on cheerfully, man. It says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate, right? For gold is tried in fire and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity, man. And that's going into the same thing that the brother J Mike was going into, man. It's literally once you've been tried in that furnace, man, right? Going through the said perils and things of that nature, man. Hey, you gonna come out as gold, right? You gonna on the other side of that, man. We're gonna be raised up, and we're gonna have a reward, man. We're gonna be made rulers over many things, right? So understanding that you have to take this burden cheerfully, man, is something that's got to be on your mind, and you have to continue to remind yourself and your brothers around you, like the brother Awati was going into, right? That we're doing this thing for the Lord who remember these, man, and reward us in these last days. That's what we do it for, man. We come and serve the Lord, because a lot of people think, man, coming into this truth is easy, man. Right? yes, it's easy in a way for my spirit to bear witness to this truth and say, you know, I'm gonna wholeheartedly serve the Lord. Yeah, that's an easy thing, right? But on the fleshly carnal side, man, it's not so easy, right? You gotta find jobs and to take the spit off, man, right? We gotta constantly be on alert to make sure that the job that we do have doesn't try to force the damn jab on us, man. We gotta constantly look at our people in wickedness and in a multitude of sins, man, and them, you know, go down a path of destruction and death, right? We have to constantly see our loved ones, man, those that are most dear and near to us, man, on this earth. We have to see them live a life of sin, man, knowing the judgment of that thing, man. Hey, coming into this truth isn't an easy thing. Nevertheless, man, you gotta be ready to do whatever it takes for the Lord. And if you're not ready to do that, man, you're not ready to serve the Lord in truth and sincerity, right? It said what? My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, man. You have to be prepared for this thing and understanding that, hey, man, when it comes to serving the Lord, it may look easy, right? But it's not an easy thing, man. It's not. If it was so easy, man, on this earth would be an Israelite, right? So-called Black, Native American, and Hispanic, when they heard this truth, because believe it or not, man, a lot of our people know, right? They just made they've already made the decision that they don't want to choose life, man. They've already made the decision to choose death because that's what profits the flesh, man. So, you know, it may seem easy, right? But taking up that burden is a troublesome thing that you have to prepare yourself for, man. With that, I yield.
Con. And I know, you know, brothers enduring through this captivity can get tiresome, man. You be worn out. You know, Esau always cracking the whip on you at the plantation. You know, you always gotta your eyes are always subjected to seeing some wickedness, man, and you gotta kind of flee from that. But you know what I'm saying? We gotta be patient. You know, let me go to Psalms. Let me go to Psalms 13 real quick. Psalms 13, from the top. How long wilt thou forget me, O Yahweh? Forever? How long wilt thou hide my face from me? How long shall I take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart daily? How long shall my enemy be exalted over me? So David is asking these questions, man. Like, damn, how long? You know, I know Israel can be impatient sometimes, but you got to constantly endure because, like, it is no other way. You know, basically, you know, paraphrasing real quick, I forgot where that said, you know, escaped me, but you know what I'm saying? We gotta be found doing them righteous things because we don't know when Yahweh's gonna send his son, you know. But this is James Salakia. This is James chapter 5 and verse 7. It says, "Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman waited for the precious fruit of the earth, and had long patience for it until he received the early and later rain. Be ye also patient. Establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh." So you got to be patient. You got to be waiting. You got to be steady praying, fasting, and studying, man, because we don't know when it's coming. But I know this captivity get hard. So, you know, with that being said, I yield.
It's definitely gonna get hard in this thing, man. But we gotta continue to bear the cross, man. We gotta continue to bear the burden, man. Right? Hey, we got righteous ancestors that after all the work that they put in, and after all the, you know, the bearing of the burdens that they did, and they asked the Lord to kind of come and take them, man. It got that hectic, man. But notice that they asked the Lord to come and take them. They didn't fall out the truth, man. Right? They didn't say, you know what, the hell with this book, kind of throw the book to the side, man. They asked the Lord, hey, come and take me, man. Right? So it's better to ask the Lord to come and take you, man, than to fall out this thing. It's literally better to ask the Lord, hey, take me out of this life, this wicked ass world, man. Bring me home, man, rather than to fall out the truth, man. A lot of people, man, they rather close the book, right? They rather get into some bugged out doctrine. They rather do all these other things because they can't handle the persecution or the chastisement of the Lord, rather than calling on the Lord and saying, hey, just take me now, man. Right? Let's get an account. It's the book of 1 Kings chapter 19, right? And I'm going to start at verse 2. Jezebel sent a messenger unto Elijah, saying, let the gods do to me and more also, if I make not thy life as the life of one of them by tomorrow about this time. Right? So this wicked ass woman, Jezebel, man, she threatened Elijah's life, right? Because she killed many of the Lord's prophets, right? And Elijah was raising hell, man. Elijah was doing the work of the Lord, man, on a high level, right? And when you're doing the work of the Lord on a high level, and they gonna want to kill you out here, man. They ain't gonna want to play no games with you, so-called white man and all the other nations, even your own people. They gonna want to kill you when you're doing the work of the Lord on that level, man, right? And it says, well, and Elijah was tired, man. Right, it was a famine going on, man. It was a lot going on, man. And Elijah was doing the work of the Lord. He was damn shaking the damn hand, right? He had just killed a whole lot of the prophets of Baal, man, by the fire he called down, man. Right? Say, verse 3. And when he saw that, he arose and went for his life and became to Beersheba, which belonged to Judah, and left his servant there. But he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness and came and sat down under a juniper tree. And he requested for himself that he might die and said, it is enough. Now, O Yahweh, take away my life, for I am not better than my fathers, man. Right? So he asked for Yahweh to take away his life, man. He didn't say, I don't want to believe no more. He didn't say this truth is too much. I can't be righteous anymore. He said, hey, man, take away my life, man. I'm not better than my fathers, right? So we got to understand that thing, man. Rather than putting the book down, rather than closing the book, rather than walking away from the truth, hey, it's better to ask the Lord to take away your life, man, right? Reading on. And he lay and slept under a juniper tree, and an angel touched him and said unto him, arise and eat. And he looked, and behold, there was a cake baking on coals, and a cruse of water at his head. And he did eat and drink and laid him down again. And the angel Yahweh came again the second time and touched him and said, arise and eat, because the journey is too great for thee. And he arose and did eat and drink and went in the strength of that meat 40 days and 40 nights unto Horeb and Mount of Yahweh. So the Lord fed Elijah, man, and sent him on his way to continue to do the work. Elijah said, hey, take me. And the Lord said, not yet. I got more work for you to do, man. And he strengthened him and sent him on his way, right? So it's the same way for us, man. When things get hard, when persecution is really bringing you down, man, hey, it's better to call on the Lord and tell the Lord to kind of take you. And if your work ain't done yet, he'll strengthen you and send you on your way, man, rather than giving up and kind of closing the book, man, right? Let's get another account, man. Let's go back to the mighty book of Acts. Right? Let's go back to the mighty book of Acts. Right? It's the book of Acts. Right? Chapter, what do I want? 4. So like, I'm going to do 5, man. Since we, for the sake of time, I'm going to just jump to 5. Chapter 5 and verse 38. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught. But if it be of Yahweh, you cannot overthrow it. Lest happily ye be found even to fight against Yahweh. And to him they agreed, and they had called the apostles and beaten them. They commanded that they should not speak in the name of Yahweh Shah and let them go. Right? And they beat the apostles, man. Hey, let's see the apostles say, you know what? Hey, we're going to pack it in. We got beat up today. We ain't going to say the name of Yahweh Shai no more. They said they beat us and they told us not to say the name of Yahweh Shai. And we ain't speaking that name no more. Let's see if that's what the apostles did. Right? And they departed from the presence of the council, rejoicing that they were counted worthy to suffer the shame for his name. Right? And you got to rejoice that you are counted worthy to suffer the shame for the name of Yahweh Shai, man. Whatever the persecution may be, man. Right? You got to rejoice that the Lord counted you worthy for that thing, man. Does it not say the Lord chastises who he loveth, man? Right? He chastises who he loveth, man. And the Lord dealeth with you as a son. For whom the Lord do not chastise is a bastard, man. Roughly paraphrasing, man. Right? So it's better to be chastised of the Lord and know you a son of the Lord than to be a damn bastard and he kind of lets you run amok around this bad boy, man. Right? And daily in the temple and everywhere, in every house, they cease not to preach Yahweh Shai Mashiach, man. So that beating didn't stop them, man. They continue to preach the words of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, man. Right? And that's what we got to do. We got to bear our burdens, man, and continue to preach the words of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, man. And with that, I yield.
I'm gonna jump up in there. Low key just threw me an alley. This is 2 Timothy 1 and verse 7. For Yahweh have not given us the spirit of fear. So he ain't give us the spirit of fear. For his name's sake, we gotta do whatever it takes. But of power and of love and of a sound mind. Be not thou therefore ashamed of the testimony of our Lord, kind of what Brother Gabar was just going into, nor of me, his prisoner, but be thou partaker of the afflictions of the gospel according to the power of Yahweh. And that's what we got to do in this thing. Because, I mean, he's going to deliver us out of anything that we are facing, any type of persecution that we're facing, if we're doing it for his sake. We go to the book of Psalms. It's Psalms 34 and verse 17. The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth, and delivereth them out of all their troubles. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all. So you're going to suffer a bunch of chastisement, a bunch of affliction, just like Brother Gabar was just bringing out. If he's not dealing with you, hey, it's a scary thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going to have to face some type of affliction. You know what I'm saying? But just know first and foremost that if you be of that contrite spirit, you know what I'm saying, he is going to bring you through everything that you're going to face. And with that, I yield.
Con, let me get this real quick. Right, Book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 22. Right, cast thy burdens upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. Right, so hey, not only can you have your brothers sit here and help carry those burdens for you, but you can actually beseech the Lord and have the Lord help you with those burdens as well. Right, and that don't matter what type of burden it is. It could be a financial one, right? It could be a social one. Hey, it could be the situation that you're in now. The Lord said, cast your burdens upon him, man. Right? He's our Lord, man. Hey, he's our Savior. He's our rock. He's our God. He is the God of Jacob, man. And that's written all throughout the scriptures, man. The Lord loves no other nation on this earth but you, man. Right? So, hey, you should have no problem calling to the Lord, right? And beseeching him and asking him for mercy and grace, man. Right? And let me get this real quick, too. Right? This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 7, verse 57. Right? Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. Right? So this is the conditions of the battle. Hey, the Lord has ordained every man, woman, and child to go through these things, to go through this battle, to go through this struggle, right? To have these type of issues, man, whatever it may be. The Lord said, this is the condition of the battle, right? And it reads, right, verse 58, right, that if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the things that I say, right? And so if you get that victory, man, you endure this thing to the very end, right? Hey, you're going to get, you know what I'm saying, maybe a kingdom, man. Hey, you get to be a righteous servant of the Lord, man. You be part of that number, man, part of the elect. You get beamed out of Babylon the Great, right? We get to see we can get to actually see Yahweh Shai coming back to save us, man. Hey, that's a blessing right there, man. Right? So, hey, cast your burdens on the Lord, man. Because why? This is the condition of the battle that man must fight. Right? And with that, I'm going to yield and pass it on to the next mighty brother.
I'm gonna get this in the book of Numbers, chapter 4. I had roughly paraphrased earlier, but I'm gonna go back to it, right? Read it. And it says Numbers 4 and verse 19. But thus do unto them that they may live and not die when they approach unto the most holy things. And Aaron and his son shall go in and appoint them every one to service into. And so once again, right, that burden is the service of Yahweh, man. It's literally the service of Yahweh, man. And that's what we have to be doing in these last days. The book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 6 says what? Slot. 1-6 says, I'm gonna start at 5. And from Yahweh Shai Mashiach, who is the faithful witness and the first begotten of the dead and the prince of the kings of the earth, unto him that loved us and washed us from our sins in his own blood and hath made us kings and priests, right? So that was the charge of Aaron and his sons, man, that they had to carry up these services and burdens to the Most High God for his tabernacle, man. And now being that we are the priests, man, and we have to do the same thing. We have to carry that same service and those same burdens to the Most High God, right? And with that I yield.
Con, let me go to the book of Romans. All right. Salakia. This is the book of Romans. Romans chapter 12 and verse 11. And it reads, I'm gonna start at verse 10. Be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love, to honor, preferring one another, not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord. So we gotta make sure we stay on fire, fervent in the spirit, always diligent and abiding in the work of one more. We get a classic, man. Book of Joshua, chapter 1. And I'm gonna start at verse 6. Be strong and of good courage, for unto this people shalt thou divide for an inheritance the land which I swear unto the fathers to give them. Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law, which Moses my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou mayest prosper whitherso thou goest. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For Yahweh thy power is with thee whithersoever thou goest. So we always got to remember to stay strong. Be steadfast, and we always got to remember that Yahweh is with us. Whenever we feel like He's not. But paraphrasing in the book of Romans, it's like where that precept at. But has Yahweh casted away His people? God forbid. We gotta always remember that. Not you.
All praise to the Most High, man. With that, we're gonna go ahead and close out, man. That concludes the Sabbath service, man, for this week, right? I'm gonna close with this final precept. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved, man. So we gotta endure in this thing all the way unto the end in order to be saved, man. Right? So continue to endure, Israel. Continue to exhort one another. Pray for your brothers and for your sisters, man, and continue to walk with Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. Lord willing, somebody was edified or will be edified in the days coming watching these videos, right? The brothers will be at camp at Discovery Green across the street from the Embassy Suites, man. Come out and fellowship. And with that, shalom.
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 Shalom.